Hey, Bodacious Beast, welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. When you were a child, what was your dream job? What inspired you to give that job that you saw that dream title? Did you train for it? Did you get it? Did you go for it? Did you get the dream job that you always had? Did that dream shatter, leaving a feeling that you were possibly scammed? Or did you work it until you retired? Or are you working on it now? Let me know in the comments. This is what today's video is all about. It's all about dream jobs. And this is a little bit about my crossroads in life that I have. And this actually is story time. So follow through with the video. If you want to leave a comment in the section below. Again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell so you don't miss another video. So the first job that I had, I never really thought I was going to ever do in my life as a kid, and that was a rigger. It was a rigger. It was a sound and a light and sound technician. Now a rigger, you're up on a paddle. There's a hole drilled inside a 2x4, and you basically got a rope or a cable that's holding you up in the rafters while you're basically putting clamps or putting leather pads with and chains with eye bolts in, so you can be able to hoist up all the lights and the sound for the stages. A lot of times that was done for center stages, that was done in the circus, that was done in ice shows. I believe they still do it in Cirque du Soleil. And then also when they do some stuff like the rodeo and other big events that require the lights up in the rafters. The sound and lighting technician dealt with all the lights that was along the front. The sounds with all the big amps and the amps on the stage, the amps under the stage. And then basically all the wires to run through the whole shebang. I mean, if something goes wrong, you need to know exactly what to do, exactly where to go, and exactly what you need to be able to fix it. Because sometimes things go down south really fast when you're in a concert. So that was pretty much my sole job, is to be able to make sure that all the equipment was working. If an amp caught on fire while it was on stage, one of the stage hands would have it unplugged. And then once they have an intermission, I got to have that thing fixed in about 30 seconds. It'll have enough time to be able to cool. If the amp is toast, we got to get it replaced with another amp. But a lot of times, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, everything was fixed. Right then, right there, on stage. If it was up in the air, it was fixed. Right then, right there, up in the air. A lot of this would be scary stuff for a lot of people that's now. I never ever dreamed of having that job. I had wanderlust. I wanted to go out and explore. I wanted to hitchhike. I wanted to travel with the bands. I wanted to listen to music all the time. And that's basically all it was. I asked for a job. They had me start off as a general hand. I started cleaning, and one of the guys that was up on one of the paddles quit. And there were two guys that was up on the paddles. They quit, and they were short a rigger. You basically had to have up to 2 to 3 riggers to be able to get all the lights and the sound up in the air. It can be possible with one, but it takes a long time. So they tried to find out, and I said, "Oh, I'll try." They said, "What do you mean you'll try?" I said, "I'll try." I said, "I like swinging from trees, and I could climb a rope, a gym rope." I said, "Let me try." I said, "You know, if you screw up, you're going to be 6 feet under, because that concrete's not going to. You're not going to be able to bounce once you hit that concrete." I said, "I have everything to live for with this music. If I bounce on the concrete, I'll bounce happy." So when I did it, and I was good at what I did. It was like a natural. And then the more I started doing it, the more I started hanging around with some of the senior technicians. They started showing me everything that had to do with the sound. Everything that had to do with hooking up the wires for the pyro. Everything from hooking up to the fog machines. Just about everything needed to be brought to one point or another around that stage. Whether it went up to the soundboard, or whether it went to the side stage, or whether it went right up into the rafters. A lot of times, the fog machines, the smoke machines will go up into the rafters because we're watching for other things too, and signals to be able to shut that stuff off. If something's going wrong, we got to get that shut off. We got to get it done. There was a lot of time that there was fog machines up there in the rafters. We controlled those up there. So that was pretty much my job, and I loved it. But I listened to people. I made my biggest mistake. I posted that on my YouTube channel. You can be able to read a lot about that. But my biggest mistake of my life, and I kind of regret ever leaving that. I should have worked on that until I retired. I would have probably been retired right now with a house up in the hills somewhere. With people calling me once in a while saying, "Hey, we need some stuff fixed." So that was my dream job. But the thing is there were other things that was involved. I drank. I was using some recreational drugs at that time, and certain people told me what I should do with my life, and I listened to them instead of going on with my life because, I was too casual of a user to actually really screw up my life. The more I was looking at it this way, I was basically a social user, if you want to say that. So I listened to somebody. I went to Boston, worked day labor for a while, and then I said, you know what? I could drive. Let me drive a truck. When I was a little kid, I was fascinated by these huge semi-trucks. I mean, I was so fascinated by these huge semi-trucks. I entered coloring contests, and I won, die-cast tractor trailers. And I played with them all the time. Not necessarily a bus, but I really enjoyed my bus driver. He was the coolest guy I've ever met. I mean, he would be playing Hell's Bells on the bus on the way to school. We would be sitting there going, yeah. I mean, that was the bus driver. So that inspired me. And you know what? I really never thought about that until I went to Boston. I said, okay, I need to do something with my life. And I'm doing a shuttler. And the shuttler was, it was okay. It wasn't paying what I wanted to pay. And then I said, you know what? Let me try and become a bus driver. So I became a bus driver out there in Boston. And that's what I've done ever since. And I said, well, you know what? I applied to be at TriMet Public Transportation in Oregon. And when I was younger and they denied me, I said, you know what? I've got all this experience now. Let me see if they'll take me. And they took me. And I fist bumped and I said, yeah. I said, I got a dream job. I got something I was going to really like. I could work this until retirement, and I'll have everything I want. Well, life happened. And then TriMet started getting greedy, and they started kicking people out because they don't want to pay the pension. They started literally firing people left and right. It was like them spitting out candy that they didn't like because they don't want to pay the pension. So it shattered my dreams. And it made me regret making that particular crossroad. That's why I'm talking about this so much. It's because the crossroads in life, it's either you're going to go status quo, or you're going to take a huge risk, and hopefully there's not a cliff when you make that turn, Or you can go down Easy Street, and if there's a job that you like and you know you can be able to get it, you take it, and then you say, you know what, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to keep going. Eventually, you climb a mountain, eventually you go and keep going, and eventually, when you're going to status quo, you never know when an earthquake is going to happen and a cliff is going to form. So you're not safe on any crossroad in life. The thing is, you have to make sure that there is a backup to where you can be able to succeed later on down the road. And keep learning. That's something I keep preaching to my kids, but they never followed my advice. Well, they're still living home with me, but well, that's today's day and age. Most teenagers, most 20-somethings won't move out of the house. But the thing is, that's what the problem was with me was, okay, I wanted to be a bus driver. I spent 2 years part-time. And I had huge gaps. I had like 6 or 7 hours in between. I could have actually learned and created a backup career just to, just in case something like this would happen. But I never thought of that. And then when I got out, I said, you know what, I should go back into the music business. But the thing is I've been out of the music business for 24 years. And 24 years out of the music business, all the technology has changed. The rigging has changed. The harness has definitely changed because we made them out of old belts and saddle stitched them, and I'm pretty sure OSHA would have loved to see those at that time. They were just enough to get the job done, but just enough to let you drop too. So that's the whole idea about it. Is I've never had anything as backup. So let me know if you have a dream job in mind. If you've worked a dream job and that job shattered on you, or if you're working one right now and you absolutely love it. Let me know in the comment section below. I would really like to read what people has done. And, it just makes me feel a little bit better about myself, too. After working with, the transit agency and the way that they kept bringing down their drivers and kept demoralizing them and messing with their minds and screwing their brains up, it's hard for a lot of us to get back into life. And because it's hard for us to get back into life, sometimes it takes a little bit from somebody just to kind of lift you up. So let me know in the comment section below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss another video. Until next time, keep on rocking.